comments from the public at this time? I understand we have a young man that would like to address. So you can do it at this time, sir.
My name is Joshua Giro, and I live at 59 State Street in Madison Point. I'm a member of the Boy Scout Troop 42, and I'm working on my Eagle Scout project, which is to install a bike rack at the Dodge Memorial Library. I'd like to do this because it would help keep the property free of clutter. It would make the property safer for both cyclists and drivers, and it would keep bike theft down. I've already proposed this idea to the library board, and they've approved it and are happy to support it. And they've also approved the placement of a donation jar at the front desk.
Thank you. Anybody else at this time? If not, you get a chance at the end of the meeting. You heard his request, board. Make a motion.
Make a motion.
Make a motion to go ahead and do it.
I'll second.
Motion made by trustee Mott, seconded by trustee Martin. Any discussion? There no discussion. All vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. All right, minutes of previous meeting of February 16th. You all have copies. Is there any additions or deletions?
Make a motion to accept regular meeting minutes of February 16th.
Second.
Moved by trustee Martin, seconded by trustee Moore. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Bills, you all have copies of the bills. Have we had any additions or deletions?
There is none this evening.
Thank you, sir.
Motion to pay bills.
Second.
Moved by trustee Moore, seconded by trustee Martin. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have just a couple of questions. Melissa, we got $2,650. Is she still grant writing, or is this all
That's
done?
old grants, old grants. And
She's
they're
done after
closing
this
them
is
out.
paid?
They're closing them out, John.
Okay.
And we get reimbursed for that money.
And the last thing I have, it says Taylor Rental, $267.28 for boots for one of the employees. I believe that's the water plant.
Probably is going to be higher.
Do we have anything, any policy, like for instance, Scott Anthony was just hired, we bought him all the stuff, and then he resigned?
To hand them down is what you're asking?
Well, I don't know, should he
I
return
realize
the
there
stuff, or should we wait
isn't-
6 months before they allowed to buy this stuff?
Has
we
that
might
ever
wanna
been a
implement
policy?
something.
No, but it's worth considering.
Well, that's all I have.
Any other discussion? Need a motion? Oh, we have a motion. All those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Correspondence.
The first thing is a letter from Greg McCallum. I, Gregory L. McCallum, resigned on the 22nd of February 2016 from the Civic Center. I am taking on a position at the water plant full-time with the Village of Rouses Point. And we need a motion, it's a formality.
Motion to accept the resignation from the Civic Center.
Motion by trustee Martin, seconded by trustee Moore. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.
Thank you. The next is a letter from the Dodge Memorial Library dated February 22nd, 2016. Village Board of Trustees. The trustees of the Rouses Point Dodge Memorial Library would like to appoint Stephanie Ashmo as an as-needed substitute library page. Ms. Ashmo has already filled out the appropriate civil service application, and we would like for her to begin training as soon as possible. Sincerely, Andrew Ewart, Library Board President.
Make a motion to hire Stephanie Ashmo as a substitute library page.
Who seconded it? Sorry, I didn't hear it. Thank you. Moved by trustee Martin, seconded by trustee Moore. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye. And that was trustee Mott that seconded.
Thank you.
What? Trustee Martin. I didn't hear it, so I don't, I lost.
That's okay.
Okay, and last is a letter from the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 912, dated March 1st, 2016. The American Legion Auxiliary of Rouses Point is requesting the Village of Rouses Point to grant us permission to distribute poppies for donations. These poppies will be made available at various locations throughout the village during the month of May. Therefore, your timely response would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your cooperation concerning this matter. Sincerely, Sue Bayshard.
Why do they need board approval for that?
Pardon me?
Why do they need board approval for that?
Matter of,
They're not soliciting anything, they're not selling anything.
oh, yes, they are. Well, they're soliciting
It's
donations.
by donation, so it's not a solicitation.
Okay, I still don't think it requires board
Well,
approval.
there's a story behind it. Several years ago, the Champlain Legion came in here and started selling poppies. And the Legion here got very upset. So this is why we've done it legally.
All right, I make a motion to allow them to do it. Second.
Moved by trustee Mott, seconded by trustee Moore. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Report of the mayor and board of trustees. First thing on my agenda is request authorization for the mayor and the administrator to attend NICOM annual meeting and training school in May 1 through 3, 2016 at the Gideon Putnam in Saratoga Springs. And the reason why this is on the agenda now, because this boy ain't gonna be there, it's not going, is that we have found out if we don't register early, you get stuck in hotels outside, and it's a bear to travel from downtown up to Gideon Putnam for the sessions. So they recommended you register early, so we just want 2 slots. Hopefully the new mayor, and I know the administrator will be going. Put that in form of a motion.
Second.
Moved by myself, seconded by trustee Martin. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. And the next thing on the agenda is resolution 2016-08, fire truck capital equipment purchase resolution. Arsen, you want to take that?
Whereas the Village of Rouses Point established a capital reserve type fund to help finance the cost of acquisition of fire department equipment for the general fund pursuant to section 6C, 6G of the general municipal law as amended. Whereas the Board of Trustees is of the opinion that a 1994 HME Fort Guys Fire Department pumper truck should be purchased for the sum of no more than $50,000. The cost of this purchase will be financed with the fire department equipment reserve, with the balance needed to be appropriated from the fire department's current appropriations budget as amended by the Board of Trustees. Whereas the useful life of said vehicle pursuant to section 11, subdivision 27 of the local finance law is 10 years, and whereas section 6C8 of the general municipal law requires that expenditures from a capital reserve type fund be subject to referendum. Now therefore be resolved that the village will or has purchased a 1994 HME Fort Guys Fire Department pumper truck. This expenditure is subject to permissive referendum. This resolution shall not take effect until at least 45 days after its adoption, nor until approved by the affirmative vote of the majority of the qualified electors of the local government voting on a proposition for its approval. If within 45 days after its adoption, it be filed with the clerk a petition protesting against such local law, signed and authenticated as required by qualified electors of such local government, registered to vote therein at the last preceding general election, in number equal to or at least 10% of the total number of votes cast for governor at the last gubernatorial election in such local government. This resolution was duly put to a roll call vote by.
Need a motion.
Make a motion. I'll second it.
Moved by trustee Moore, seconded by trustee Martin. And this is a roll call vote. Trustee Martin.
Aye.
Trustee Moore.
Aye.
Trustee Mott.
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. And that's it for me. Trustee Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The only thing that I have to offer for tonight is surplus what we have for 205 now, our old pumper truck. Make a motion.
Moved by trustee Martin, seconded by trustee Mott. Is there any discussion?
Are we gonna put a minimum bid on it?
Well, yeah, that will go to the creek, that fire equipment, people that use fire equipment, and it probably won't leave here until June.
Maybe we're gonna put a minimum bid on it?
Well, that's up to the chief. Let the chief tell us what he wants.
Why is it up to the chief?
Because he has some ideas.
Okay.
He said if that truck goes to somebody other than a fire department, he's gonna make sure a lot of equipment come off.
Why don't we wait to surplus it, then we can find out before we vote on this what we're gonna get for it?
You could get 10 cents, John, you know that. I just, it's the nature of the beast. And then again, the truck is not a bad truck.
Well, that's why I don't wanna see it either, you know?
Well, that's why he said, told me yesterday that, he said if it goes to, if somebody buys that, you know, for little or nothing, the ladders are coming off, the sirens are coming off, all that equipment's gonna come off. If they don't need it, they're not going to a park.
If you're gonna advertise the item, surplus item and advertise it and require a minimum bid, you need to put down what comes with the truck.
That's right.
Rescind the motion. Just wait a little bit until we.
Just wait and see what Mike thinks we,
Well, Mike is the one that asked us to surplus. So he can start the paperwork.
Well, we don't know what, the Carson said you gotta know what's going with it before you.
What's that?
Carson said you gotta know what's going with it before you get surplus. Brad rescinded his motion.
Yeah, rescind it.
Okay.
We'll
we
bring it
got
up
till
at
June
the-
anyway,
Yeah.
right? We got till June
We got
anyway,
whatever.
correct?
I think, I don't know, it all depends, and they call and say that truck. But I do believe we put $5,000 down on it. I said, yeah.
We'll get with the chief in the meantime and
Well, I think that's the right way to do it, find
Yeah.
out what's going with it, and there's a minimum bid, and then we can.
go from there.
Okay, that's it for me, trustee Martin.
That was all that I
And
had.
that's it. Okay, thank you, trustee Martin. Trustee Moore.
Yes, just for information, the guys were supposed to go to a class the 17th of this month. There's about 8 of them for the water. It's been changed to the 17th because the 16th was upgrade up. That's just it for information. Plus, we got prices on DE for the water plant. Avtech was $18.50 a bag, Gleason was $18.82 a bag, Gall was $14.90 a bag, and Slack Chemical was $19.99 a bag. Brian Jolin would like to go with plan for $14.90 a bag, a total price of $12,784.20. Need a motion on that, Arson, or is it?
Yeah.
It's done every year, so
It's a budgeted item.
Okay, and another one is water plant operator training for Brian Gilmo and Jared Gravetta is Thursday, March 24th, 8:30 to 4 in Peru. With a total cost of $30. Yes, I'd like to make a motion to let them go.
Second.
Moved by trustee Moore, seconded by trustee Martin. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, vote by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.
That's all I got.
Thank you, trustee Moore. Trustee Mott?
I have nothing.
Thank you, sir. And Joe is among the absent, so Donna?
The only thing I have is to remind people that we have elections on the 15th, and please get out and vote. And remind you to the board that on the 16th at 4 o'clock, the day after the election, we have a special board meeting to approve the election.
Thank you. Jean?
Yeah, I have a couple things, please. I know that it's really late in the season, but we still have the chance of snow. It was brought to our attention during a recent snowfall that required plowing, that private individuals providing plowing services may occasionally leave a furrow of snow on the sidewalk. Or if they clean up the sidewalks, they apparently deposit the snow along the street in the village right away. Doing so causes more work for public works as it pertains to keeping the streets and sidewalks clear for pedestrians. Please note that Chapter 100, Streets and Sidewalks of the Village Code, such activities are not allowed, and such activities will be monitored by the Commissioner and Police Chief. Your help as homeowners and private individuals to discourage this activity is greatly appreciated. There were some concerns expressed over the winter at the 2 snowfalls that we did have. So, as I said, this is a late notice. The NAPHL that we have been so dedicatedly working towards has formally notified us that the efforts to attract a home team has ended, and as the NAPHL Association itself is unable to crack the junior league market. We would like to thank the NAPHL owners for all the work they've done over the past couple of years attempting to turn this dream into a reality. The Civic Center, however, continues to search out activities that will promote the Civic Center. We currently have 2 wrestling matches scheduled for 2016 with Extreme Combat Promotions, Saturday, May 21st, and Saturday, September 10th. They have also requested dates for 2017, being May 6th and September 16th. Other events are currently being worked on as well. If individuals or businesses are interested in sponsoring an event at the Rouses Point Civic Center, please contact myself or Cody O'Brien via the main office. The other thing I wanted to mention is that in regards to the tax-free / government efficiency plan, in mid-2015, Clinton County sponsored a local government plan initiative for area municipalities, which was designed to identify and quantify past, present, and future initiatives that save local tax dollars. Our Sen and I worked with Mike Zerlo, Clinton County Administrator, to provide those cost savings details for Rouses Point. The county submitted the joint funding findings to the New York State Division of Budget and the Department of Taxation and Finance for evaluation. We have been notified that as the efficiency plan submitted by the county met all qualifying criteria and confirming the benefits of our joint cost savings initiatives, taxpayers in Rouses Point and other participating municipalities will receive a rebate check in the fall of 2016. The amount of those rebates is unknown. However, please know that while counties and local governments do not control the major cost drivers in local budgets, the village administration and employees diligently and continually evaluate cost savings initiatives that we can control for the benefit of the village as a whole. There's a website that we learned about at NICOM. It's called stopthetaxshift.org. I won't read all the details here, but it does pertain to helping the state and local officials and media and the public better understand the direct connection between state actions, for example, state aid and state mandates, and New York's real property tax burden. Local officials and private citizens should use this site as a resource to help educate state leaders, legislators, and opinion makers on those state mandates that are the key culprits in obstructing local officials' efforts to control spending and property taxes. And the last thing that I would like to say is that the wastewater treatment plant employees, Tim Graves, Ernie Barcombe, Dan Gay, and Grant Dean, I'd like to commend them for a very successful DDC audit in February of 2016. The highest rating used in this audit is satisfactory, and the plant scored as fully satisfactory in all applicable areas. Congratulations to all. Keep up the great work. Thank you.
Thank you, Gene. Arsen?
I'd like to schedule a budget meeting for next Monday.
Okay.
I don't know if you want it here or if you want it at the office.
Good time.
Whatever time the board wants.
I'm gonna work till 5. I can't make sure these quarter after 10 after 5.
Sounds good.
15th, next Monday.
Okay. Where?
Well, where do we usually meet? Upstairs at the village office.
That's fine. That's all I have.
Clifford?
Yes, sir. Last week I attended a code enforcement conference in Lake Placid. It was very educational. They're saying that our new code books for 2016 will be issued in June. As of right now, that's what they're saying, so we're hoping that comes out, a lot of changes. And during the process, while I was over there, I did purchase 3 business shirts, along with a hat that say code enforcement officer on it. And I'd like to know what the board would be willing to pay for that. It was a sum of $55. As of right now, I have nothing that acknowledges me as the code enforcement officer in the village of Rouses.
Motion for the board to pay. 55, you said?
$55.
No, second.
Move the second.
My second.
Oh, I can't hear me. Moved by trustee Moore, seconded by trustee Mott. Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, vote by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carried. Brian, you hiding somewhere?
No, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Open the meeting public at this time. Anybody wishing to address the board may do so.
Ben Arnold, 104 City Street. I see we got another letter from the water plant about the water. Has the village done anything to try to solve the problem, or what?
Oh, yeah. We gotta do more flushing. That's the secret. Very hard to do that in the winter.
I have rural water that is coming in to provide an assist for us in evaluating different methodologies that would be beneficial to the water plant. The unilateral flushing is one of the items. Dropping the water level in the tank was another item that is currently underway. So we do have some initiatives going on to help us alleviate the TTHMs that have been reported. It was one site testing in particular, as I understand it, and the site the Department of Health has moved the testing site. So now the tests are better. They are coming more into compliance, but we have to report that on a rolling basis going forward until it falls out.
Shouldn't we be testing different places every
They
time
do.
they test?
They do. Well, they have, no, the Department of Health requires that they have selected sites, and it's the Department of Health that monitors that. That's John Canosa.
Also, another thing on your boot policy, the village used to have one in, that they spend $100, the village would spend $100, and if the person bought a pair of boots that cost $300, he had to pay for it.
I don't know what the policy
Was
is.
it 300, that's it for the year?
I don't know what the.
No, if you bought a pair of boots and they cost $300, the village would pay $100.
I think now it's,
Per CSA contract, the employees are allowed a $300 boot allowance for the year.
Oh.
Anybody else? Go ahead, Tom.
Tom Dark, 14 Lowell Avenue. In connection with the water plant and everything, have you folks heard anything from Barton and LaJudas on what's going on?
Talked to him, Mr. Chief, talked to him this week.
Yes, I actually spoke with him this morning on, Jason Ballard will be here on I think it's the 9th, next Tuesday. And they will be following up, working with Ryan Jeleno on evaluating different aspects of the water plant. Excuse me, and they also want to visit the sand filtration plant in Halberg and the other in St. Albans. And they just want to get a better feel for you know, the systems and so on that are in our locale. And the feasibility study, that is a part of the feasibility study that they have been working on,
Right.
compiling various components of that study. So I will be meeting with them on the 9th, along with Brian Gelano and the commissioners who are interested in. It is Wednesday, the 9th is Wednesday.
Who from the village will go around with these people and see the other water plants? Who will go?
Well, it could be the commissioners if they are interested, Brian Gelano. I did not ask if there was anybody from the public that, you know, would be interested in going.
No, I'm not
It's
interested at this
possible.
point. I'm talking about our crew.
Right. That's who it would be, as far as I know, unless there are other people that are available to participate.
All the questions I have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? If not,
Make a motion to adjourn.
a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by trustee Moore, seconded by trustee Martin. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, we're adjourned.